Hey everyone, Emily here. Today's training, we're going to cover how to effectively cast your vision to your team. And this is such an important thing because having a vision is essential to being a good leader and leading a team. And I think all of us, most of us, especially if you're watching this training and wanting to learn how to grow and learn more, I think if you want to grow a team, it has to start with you first and your vision. So having a vision is so essential. So if you're watching this and you don't have a vision already, that's something that you can do after this call, or get with your coach. And maybe if you're not really sure where to go, just get with your coach and they can help you in creating your vision. But I'm going to just go over 4 steps on how to effectively cast your vision to your team today. So step number 1 is creating a clear vision. So we won't go into depth on how to create your vision because that is another training, but you need to have a clear vision for you and your business that you share to your team. However, your vision doesn't need to be 100% complete, sparkly clean, and perfect before you do share it to your team. I think it's important to just have a solid foundation of what you want and then start sharing with your team, because down the road it will become more clear. And then once you get your team's input and then you hear their dreams and their ideas, that's really going to help to mold and shape your vision as well. So it doesn't need to be 100% perfect. You just need to have an idea of what your vision is, and then you can start sharing it with your team. Which leads us to step number 2, is communicating your vision to your team. So this is just a little fact because I love statistics, but not the actual statistics class, but just stats that you hear. But it takes 21 times of hearing or seeing something before it sticks. So this is so important. Why? Because it means that you don't just tell your vision to your team one time and then you're done with it. It's something that you need to be constantly bringing up in your team and revisiting. It doesn't have to be every single day. I'm going to go live in the team page today and talk about my vision. It can be in so many different forms. You can do a video that you have. You can have it in writing. You can cover different parts of your vision and make it into different trainings. You can do a vision board party, which here's my vision board, which I do want to make bigger and laminate, but I do have it printed out so I can look at it every single day. But share a certain part of your vision in one way or another constantly with your team. You also need to be mindful to communicate it to your team in such a way that it motivates them to take action. So don't bring it up in passing. Don't skim over it. Don't tell them that you want to talk about your vision and then sit there in a monotone voice and be like, guys, we're going to be elite this year. We can do it. Like, you need to be passionate about it. It's your vision. It's your vision for you and your team. Like, be excited about it. Get them fired up. You know, if you're just starting out and say you just have a small team, that's okay. Be like, guys, we're not there yet, but we are going to be elite and we're going to do it together. We're going to fail, but we're going to fail together and fail forward. Just get them excited. Share your passion, and that is a huge part in communicating your vision to your team. Another part of communicating is describing to them what success for them and your team looks like. We have several different ways that you can do that. You can have a team call and invite a successful coach to show up on the call. You know, we have our fearless leader, Jamie. Invite Jamie to speak on your team call. Talk about how she started and she was working 3 jobs and busting her butt, had no free time, but look at what she's made. She has this life by design now and this life of freedom. Like that, maybe that's what somebody on your team needs to hear. You know, we have the National Wake Up Call every single Monday morning. They can listen to episodes on podcasts or whatever, but like they share stories of success on the National Wake Up Call. Super Saturday, guys, it's something we have every quarter. It's so important to get to it and get your team to it, because there may just be one little nugget that they needed to hear that they hear when they're there. Summit, guys, that is like the ultimate yearly event that Beachbody has. It is so important to get yourself and your team there, because there are so many stories of success, so many stories of struggle and overcoming that may just resonate with your team and be the one thing that someone needed to hear to really flip that switch and make the change. So it's really important to describe to your team what success looks like. Also, it's really important to focus on targeting your message to your team, because different coaches have different needs and different coaches learn and are inspired in different ways. So you need to learn how to translate your vision, the same vision, to different people in different ways. That's very, very important. It's also very important to be clear and concise when communicating your vision. Without clarity, your team doesn't know what they're supposed to do, how to take the action. If you're not clear about your vision, they may be like, I have no idea what she wants me to do, so they're just not going to take action. So being clear and concise is another huge part when communicating your vision. Step 3, challenge your team. Challenging them to action is so important when sharing your vision and casting your vision to the team. So you want to inspire your team to move outside of their comfort zones. So how am I going to inspire my team? Lead by example. Do it yourself. Show them things that they may be terrified about going live, getting really impersonal on their own Facebook page. Show them how to do those things. Be like, guys, I was nervous too, but I did it. And look how much I've grown and I've benefited since I've done it. So a way to inspire them is to do it yourself. And they'll see you do that, and they're like, I can do it too. Encourage your team to grow. You can do this by finding good personal development that they may need at that moment in their life. Taking advantage of different leadership material, calls, events that we have that Beachbody offers. It doesn't even have to be within Beachbody. There's different leadership events all the time. Really help them to grow by plugging them into different leadership events. A great way to get your team to grow is by delegating different tasks to them. Assign them a little more responsibility within your challenge groups. Or if you have your team page, assign them a little bit more responsibility within there. Once you start letting them know that you know they can do it and giving them the tasks, they're going to start growing as leaders as well. And that's going to help them lead their team. Another important part in challenging your team is calling them out on their BS. And it doesn't have to be hardcore and mean and yelling at them. That's why it's important to know your coaches and know how they respond to criticism, feedback, and constructive criticism, not mean criticism. But it's important to know the way that your coach responds, because some may need tough love and you to call them out, but others may need a more gentler approach. But it's important to be like, I know your goals, I know what you want to do, I know what you're capable of, and you're not doing it right now. So what can I do to help you? Let them know that you believe in them and how capable they are of reaching their goals. That is so important when challenging them. So step 4 is consistency and accountability. So your vision for your team will not work unless everyone is on the same page. You can't have people that show up once a month, once every other week. They go MIA for 3 months and go inactive. You want to make sure that everyone is consistently working on this together and that they're all in. You want to encourage your team to be sharing daily, whether it's in your team page, in your challenge groups, on their personal page, because encouraging them to be consistent and will also help to hold them accountable on their own journey and help with their team building. When you are all in as a team, your vision really becomes the team's vision. And when it's the team vision, there's a personal connection to it. And what happens when you have a personal connection? You have emotional ties to that vision. And I read the most profound statement, and it really applies to that. It says, logic makes us think, but emotions drive us to act. And when you do something like include your team in kind of shaping the team's vision, it becomes personal and emotional to them. So what is that going to do? That is going to drive them to act and inspire them to act, take action, and really make an imprint on their journey as well in leading their teams. So your team, whether you realize it or not, they are dying to follow you to your destination. When you share your vision and you are like, guys, we are going to be elite, they want to be a part of that. They don't want to just sit and watch you do it. They do want to be a part of it. So how are you going to do that? You are going to lead by example. You're going to lead from the front. You're going to show them how to do it, which means you're going to be doing it yourself. So to wrap up, the 4 steps to effectively casting your vision to your team is to create a clear vision yourself is step number 1. Step number 2 is communicate it to your team. Step number 3 is challenge your team. And step number 4 is consistency and accountability. So those are kind of my 4 tips on casting your vision to your team. And I just want to kind of take it 2 steps farther and kind of give you a couple action items. I want you to ask yourself right now, today, right now, does my team know the vision that I have and that we have for our team? I think that can be a hard wake-up call for you. You may be like, I have never shared this with my team. Well, I encourage you to do it right now. If you're like, yeah, my team does know my vision, then ask yourself, how do they feel about it? Do they agree with it? And does it align with their vision? I think kind of asking yourself these things can really help you figure out what your next steps are to take and how you need to kind of like mold or tweak it so it really can be a team vision. So I encourage you all today. Step one, if you do not have your own vision, do it. And start by making a vision board. Grab a couple people and have a vision board party. You know, like get together and like think about your hopes and your dreams and your purpose and your passion. It's a fun thing, guys. Make it a fun event. Have people over to your house and, you know, get magazines and cut out things and, you know, have coffee or cocktails or whatever. And make a vision board. Maybe make a video of your vision that you can share with your team. Go live in your team page or on your personal Facebook page and really share your vision. It's just a few things that you can do today to be on the right step to getting your team all on board and getting a team vision nailed down in place. So you guys have a great day, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your vision boards out there. I will talk to you guys later.